Hello, 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 everybody, all of you wonderful people. Thank you for sticking around for our final review, a sort of post-mortem of Shipwrecked, so we can tell you who we are, how we are, what's on our mind, take some questions from you all, and sort of tell you what went into this event, what we did, what we could have done. Yeah, and we're just going to sort of keep this ship rolling, take a little feedback from you guys, talk more about the event and what went on behind the scenes. It is so good to see everybody. I'm really amazed. I've been watching our Twitch viewership all
Hold on,
weekend.
Jax. We're having an echo.
Uh-oh. Is there an echo? Mute yourself.
I am.
Yeah.
I am muted.
Me and Absol are in the same room, so apologies about that. We're roommates right now. It is so good to see you guys. I'm so glad you had fun. Yeah, I was gonna say our viewership hasn't dropped below 100 this whole weekend, which is amazing to me. Thank you for sticking around. It says there's still an echo.
There's still an echo, and I'm fully muted.
I think it's because if it's coming from Blue's feed, I think that might be. I'm not sure though. I'm not positive on it, but it's something is going through. Oh no, it's your OBS. It's your OBS. Do you have? Oh my god,
it's gone now. It's better.
Audio.
What?
Is that better? Oh, it's gone now. It's gone.
It's gone now. Is it happening when I'm speaking?
No, it was my OBS.
Okay, it was Absol's OBS.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm super glad to see that you guys have been making friends, that you guys have met new people. Specifically, VR chat was really happening this weekend. We had two official instances of our VR chat world built by Ren Tradewind. And both of them were full last night. They were maxed out. Our Minecraft server was super successful. We had 48 original plots that were all claimed. All of them were built in. You guys got to see a little bit of that this morning, but if you didn't, we certainly have pictures up on our website. We'll be posting more pictures from all of our platforms over the next week, just to kind of show you guys the extent of what happened at AnthroExpo Shipwrecked. Thank you for singing the praises. We're blown away by all of the engagement we've gotten this weekend. If you don't know me, I'm Jax. I have been behind the social media machine this weekend. So I've gotten to see a lot of it. I hope to share more of that with you guys in the next week. Yeah, Brett, Absol, and Cass have been talking enough. Let's see, we've got Odyssean, we've got Blue, Alex, Ricky, Faulty. How do I say Las? How do I say Las? How do I say your name again?
Laz is good enough.
Laz is good enough. Laz has been very active in our VR chat planning. Everybody else, you guys are beautiful. So I want to know from chat, do you guys have any questions for us right off the bat? Anything you're curious about? Just because it's overwhelming. We've been planning this thing since what? November? December? We've been planning it basically since we had to make the call last fall to go ahead and 3 months prior to our SetCon dates, we met with our board of directors, voted to postpone our event in January, obviously because of the ongoing pandemic predicament. We've got a question from Lark. Why are you guys so rad? Can anybody answer that? I don't think we can. We've got a question from Kayaception Play. How did you come in contact with Catherine? Catherine was instrumental in lending us access to her PFO tool, which has been utilized at a lot of online virtual pony events, which we are really proud to rep. Got a really strong connection to the pony fandom, to the MLP fandom. Maybe Blue, you can answer that question for us?
Yeah, so definitely part of it was Lexi VFX, who is on our video and streaming team for AV. And she knew Catherine, and we were able to leverage the PFO tool to help with our streaming ability and stuff like that. So both Catherine and Lexi have been an absolute gift to help us with the con. But that's it's pretty much just we knew them through association.
Yeah, totally. And we've sort of been repping the tagline Oklahoma City's fandom convention. That is something specifically that I'm very passionate about. Our whole team is just comprised of individuals with a lot of different interests. Right in this room, you know, in the Zoom call, we've got people who are into D&D, tabletop, Pony, My Little Pony, anime, gaming, really just everything. And that's something I really would like to see us bring to the next iteration of AnthroExpo. The anthro doesn't necessarily have to be anthropomorphic. It could be about us, anthropological, what we're about, the fandoms that we want to see at our con. I've got another question. Are you guys planning on keeping the digital aspect? This is from Cobalt. Are you guys thinking of keeping the digital aspect a permanent addition to the physical con? You guys did an amazing job. Thank you, Cobalt, so much for that. I would like to. We haven't officially talked about it in any official capacity, but it's something that I think we did really well this year. We do have a community Minecraft server outside of this. That's something we've been doing for a while, but implementing those virtual aspects, I think if we have the manpower for it, is something that we want to do. Yes. If you guys want it, we want to do it. Did anybody else want to maybe speak to that?
I wanted to just pretty much agree with what Jack said. It is something we have not discussed, but something I would like to discuss for future events. If we have the capacity to do it, we would like to do it, and it does involve you, so we can't do this alone. We have this wonderful team here, but not all of us could be available at, every single time. If you are wanting to volunteer with us, please reach out. We would love to have you on board with us. No pun intended, of course. But I definitely want people on board and helping with the virtual event, because there was moments where we had to fill in and we were kind of understaffed at some points. I'll be honest. I had to do a lot of work behind the scenes to do things that were definitely not supposed to be things I was going to be doing. But I was fine with it. I got to do it, but it would be so much better if we had more hands on deck.
Yeah, totally. And I do see our wonderful HR Falf Alexander Pod just posted in Twitch chat the link to our that is our sign up page. If you're interested in being part of staff, you can click that link and view all of our available positions, all of our vacancies for the team. Now, the way that we organize our structure is split into sort of two categories. We have core staff, which are active most months out of the year with breaks in between. So we've got active periods of like 3 months, and then we'll do 2 months on and 1 month off. That's what core staff does. So we take breaks in the months of February, May, and August, just to kind of break up our workload. That's something that we're going to implement this year. And then our floor staff, that is sort of the more laid back type of role. We have a lot of vacancies for that. Those are people who get activated after August to start our real pedal to the metal planning for the physical convention in January of the following year. So this list is something that we're going to be working on updating a little better, adapting to some of the roles that we might want to look at opening up for virtual spaces, maybe if we decide that. Definitely take a look at that link, check out our vacancies. We are a growing team. After our first convention in 2020, we did a big hiring push and we doubled our staff Yeah, we doubled our staff. We have about 50 staff members right now, but we are always looking for new talent, and there will always be a need for people that want to be more involved. I know several of the moderators we would love to see come on board for the physical convention just because of how great they've been, how, passionate and driven they've been about making this a successful event. So yeah, that's our little spiel on that. I'm sure in a little bit, Alexander can speak more to our hiring process and our needs. I see you, Alex. But I'm going to take another question that I got earlier. This is from Cecil the Yeen. What made you decide on including a non-suit, so a non-fursuiting division in our dance competition? And do you plan on carrying that with you back to the physical con? Cass, you can definitely answer this one for us.
So it was really funny. Before we had a virtual convention, we had plans for AnthroExpo 2021 physical at the time. Back at our 2020 event, we did try to have a dance competition, but we only had one sign up, and it was one fursuiter. It was going to be a fursuit dance competition. Because we weren't able to have that, a lot of people were really upset. Dance competitions are a huge part of dance competitions, a huge part of conventions in general. They're a huge event. They're a very well receptive event where a lot of people want to be there and want to see it and want to see the videos online when the dance competition happens. So it was really sad when I wasn't able to host one in 2020. So for 2021, I remember talking to Alex about this. We had like a private Discord call, I think like just randomly in our staff lounge while we were planning physical. And I mentioned to him, I want to see if it's possible for us to do both fursuiters and non-fursuiters. And I remember him saying, like, I love that. I would love to see that. I think a lot more people would join the dance competition if you did that. So that was already something I wanted to do for our physical event, which means, yes, I will be implementing that into AnthroExpo 2022 when we are opening for dance competition submissions then. But yes, the reason why I wanted to not only was to give us more of an opportunity to get more dancers on our stage, but because the non-suiters don't really get enough credit. I get that dancing in a fursuit, as I'm a fursuit dancer myself, so I understand. It's not easy. There's a giant costume on you. You have to over-exaggerate a lot of your movements just to get them across because you are wearing a giant carpet and you are trying to move around a really hot stage and not overheat and die. So, like, I get it. Fursuit dancing takes a lot of work. And that's why I thought it was really awesome that we could separate these categories and make it, instead of having a novice and veteran category, have a fursuiter and non-fursuiter category. Of course, when we do have a physical event, if we have a lot more dancers, I will definitely add a lot more prizes, a lot more winners. We can only do one of each this time. But basically, I wanted to because the non-fursuiters deserve a lot more love. There's a lot of talent out there and a lot of people that they don't want to fursuit. Like, that, it's just not their thing, but they still want to show off on a stage. And I want to give them that stage. Thank you for that question, by the way. That was a wonderful question.
Yeah, that was a really good question. And if you have any questions, maybe if you're tuning in from our VR chat world, be sure to hit us up on twitch.tv/AnthroExpo. If you have any pressing questions about our event, about us, about what we're about. I do have a comment that was from, who was it? It was from Base is Bit, and they were mentioning all of the bronies in the chat, asking if anybody wants to do a group picture at the Ponytown event server before the music party starts. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We love our bronies. They are Anthro after all. You know, we are the fandom convention, so definitely hit them up about that. I got a question earlier today about whether our VODs would be available. Those are the video on demand of our entire event. And the answer I got was, yes, we will try. There are a lot of issues with DMCA, with music licenses. We do have our ASCAP license for this event, so that's the reason we were able to play a lot of the copyrighted music that you heard this weekend. However, we recorded the whole thing, and we're going to be working tirelessly to process those videos and get them uploaded on our YouTube, possibly. If not, we are going to look at other options, other platforms like Vimeo or what have you. I will post our YouTube channel in the chat right now. So if you're seeing that, go there, give us a subscribe. It can't hurt. Turn on the notification. That way, whenever, if ever we are able to upload the VODs all there, which we would like to, you'll get alerted for them. So that's things like our panels, our dance competition for sure, stuff like that, maybe a highlights video about our con. Speaking of which, we did debut our 2020 convention recap video. It was a mini documentary that was put together to tell you all what our 2020 convention was all about. That was worked on for almost a year after the convention, and we finally released it during opening ceremonies of Shipwrecked. So that will be uploaded to our YouTube very soon, within the next couple of days. So definitely go subscribe to our YouTube, and you'll be sure to get notified whenever that's uploaded. It made me cry. We showed it to staff just a week prior to the event, and there were a lot of tears. I saw them real time because we did it over Zoom call. But yeah, I got another question from chat. From Skulldog, question: how does one set up a con? Getting staff, publicity, funding, etc. I will pass this to Brett, but preface by saying that this convention has been in the works, so to speak, at least as an idea, for at least a decade, and Apsel and others have been working to get the con off the ground since at least 2016. There have been a lot of hiccups in the way, a couple of postponements, but our first event was last year in 2020. So Brett, why don't you go ahead and dive deep into that question?
Sorry, I have to unmute like 4 different things because I don't want to echo for everyone.
That's okay.
I hope I'm not echoing. If I am, I'm sorry. Cool. Yeah, this is a loaded question. So the biggest thing about getting a fur
Brett,
con off...
there's no audio from you.
There's not?
Uh-oh.
You're unmuted on Zoom, but it might be the microphone.
The mic? Hello?
Well, Brett figures out his audio.
Wait.
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
No, I hear
Hello?
him from Jax's.
Oh, my Lanta.
Brett's going out on the stream, so we just can't hear him here, but it's all good on OBS.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
So everyone else in the world, our viewers can hear me. Hi.
Good.
Okay, so the first part about getting a furry convention off the ground is publicity, and a really big aspect of that is making sure that you have the right branding, you have the right formula for success. A name is important, a region is important. You have to work with the people around you. There could be fur meets that could be, kind of edging on the side of fur conventions. You really have to go into almost the politics of the area around you. You have to know the people that you're working with, and there's community leaders that you have to be involved with, not only furry, but also community leaders like Chamber of Commerce, other business owners, your hotel that you're eventually going to be at, or even the venues that you have to work with. Creating those business relationships is important to do ahead of time before you even start thinking about opening up a furry convention. Once you start focusing on those aspects of it, you start then reaching out into getting your staff, finding your core people. I recommend finding 5 people You need to at least find one person who will tell you no, one person who will always challenge your ideas, one person who will always have your back, and one person who knows every other aspect of the convention that you don't know. And if you at least have those people in your team, you cannot go wrong. The biggest mistake that I think furry people and just conventions in general tend to make whenever they start out is that they get a team of people that agree and they go with one person who is held up on a pedestal. That's not the case. Everyone is even playing field, and especially the people who are leading the convention, they need to be on the foundation holding up your volunteers and everyone else. Because if you don't lead that way, your volunteers are always going to be underappreciated, and it's going to end in burnout. And turnover and burnout is one of the hardest things in convention work, because most of the time it's thankless, payless work. And one thing that I like to tell people as well to kind of end on this is make sure that if you're a part of a convention, put it on your resume. Do not be afraid to put this particular experience, even if it's unpaid, on your resume. Have someone detail your work list, have them give you a job function sheet, and then that way you can actually list it on your resume that I am an events manager or I am a director of AV, for example. That is a huge title to be able to put on your resume, and it's true because you are running that department or you're volunteering in that. So yeah, by all means, please, if you have any other questions about wanting to reach out or make a convention, feel free to message me anytime. My background is in supply chain and logistics, and I've been in business management and in that field for about 14 years now. I know a lot of the in and outs of business law, of business taxes, and formulation of companies and entities. So if any of you ever need help in starting up your own conventions, starting up your own events organizations, feel free to reach out to me. I do some free, I'll do some free consultation with you, and we'll work out some ideas and go from there. But feel free to reach out.
And I just want to kind of follow that up by saying, don't be afraid to break the mold, so to speak. Don't be afraid to bring your own original ideas. I know it's no secret that we take a lot of inspiration from the furry conventions that are really successful right now. We look a lot at our neighboring conventions like TFF, like AnthroCon, like all the big ones, you know, all the really famous like god tier conventions. We take a lot of inspiration from, but at the same time, I like to say only shooting stars break the mold. And that's something I like to bring a lot into our convention planning. Brett is whistling the song behind me. You know, I really pride myself on the fact that we do a lot of things differently, and we're going to do a lot of things differently. And so I hope that you look forward to a new and different convention experience if you come to our 22 convention. There's a lot of things that I would personally, I had never. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. Personally, I had never been to a furry convention before I started planning AnthroExpo. That is no joke. I'm a rather young person. I didn't re-enter the fandom until 2018, and AnthroExpo was my second or third furry convention. But before I started planning, I'd never been to one. So I think that was a really big advantage for us planning AnthroExpos, that a lot of our staff have a similar story. They've been to few or no furry conventions. So don't be afraid to do your own thing, even if it doesn't look like other events that you're trying to compete against, you know? That's just my little spiel on that. I did get another question way up in the chat that I want to highlight on. Now that you've done both physical and virtual con, which would you consider harder? That was from Print Killer. Does anybody have an answer to this? Maybe, oh, it looks like Cass dropped out of the call. That's okay. Brett, what do you think? Odyssean, did you have one?
Both are hard.
Both are harder.
They're hard for different reasons. For an online convention, you have a lot of organization for making sure that your system's going to stay up, that you don't have as many technical difficulties. A lot of the burden shifted to AV. We've had an absolutely killer AV team helping us out with all of this. In-person cons is a lot about making sure you have people physically at the convention moving about. Planning for them is kind of the same, honestly. It's just different platforms that you focus on. They've got their own set of issues. I wouldn't say one's easier than the other. I have enjoyed the online con because it means I get to go to most of the panels. At the physical con, I'm handling information desk. So it's all about the differences in what you're doing and how you're shifting the resources at your disposal to what the focus is. So I'd say they're about the same in terms of difficulty to set up and run.
So chat, I do kind of want to hear if you have any department specific questions too. So this could be for questions about our Minecraft server, for our Minecraft mods, questions for Lass about our VR chat world, or even questions for AV. But I would actually like to turn that question we just had over to Blue. Blue, do you think it's harder to run AV at a physical event or at a virtual convent? You look pretty comfy there in your room, so I'll throw that question right at you.
So I have heard, definitely, its aspects are definitely different, but also the same. So like, you have a lot of things that can go wrong, both like with a physical con and AV. At a physical con, network stuff might not be as big of an issue, but when you're running stuff, out of somebody's house and you have to worry about everybody having, possibly unreliable internet or it not being, a big building like a hotel, a lot of stuff can go wrong really fast. So you just have to be quick on your feet and be ready to have backup solutions and, kind of things for every edge case, just in case, the worst happens and, something goes wrong. At a physical convention, there's a lot of hardware to move. There's a lot more of the planning aspect where, getting supplies and equipment from A to B and all the setup and teardown aspect. Some of that's negated by, having it be, say, from my house or something like that, where, we've already got the stuff set up and we don't have to transport a lot of equipment, and, really get all that manpower to distribute that up. But it's still difficult in its own way, because it's always mentally taxing and you have to have a lot of people to really help you. And so we've kind of got a little bit of a bigger department and a bunch of people helping than sometimes in the past, because you need a lot of eyes on just watching all the time to make sure everything goes right. It's not kind of set and forget on some aspects. So I would say that, this has been a pretty difficult, thing to run, but at the same time, I don't think it was any harder or less hard than the physical convention. It's just in different ways.
I said definitely. I know we had like 12 iterations of ConOps, and those were located in every one of your households. So thank you guys. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about our selection of musical artists and concert performances, definitely drop those in chat. Who would you like to see at our event? We have an awesome lineup already, but we can always add to that in future events. I do have a quick question from Cosmos Liger. Do you ever run into conflicts between time spent on con work and time spent on your day job or other typical obligations? I'll pass this to someone, but I'll say the immediate answer is absolutely. A lot of us feel like this is a second job, me specifically. It takes a lot of time and a lot of scheduling, and we try to be pretty flexible to our staff members because a lot of them do work full-time jobs in addition to this. One of those people is Alexander Paw. Maybe you could speak a little bit about that if you'd like to.
Sure. Yeah, so I work full time currently for a big tech company out there, and I work over 40 hours a week, and with AnthroExpo work on top of that. It adds up. it adds up. And just a reminder, like all of us, we are all volunteers. So we do this on our own time, and just it can get stressful. It really can. But you just have to remember, like, this, you're a big part of this. Like, everybody is such a big part of this big giant con. So, like, I appreciate everybody on staff. I appreciate everybody that's helped out with this. But yeah, it can get stressful. That's really the bottom line of it on my experience. But I'm super glad to be here. I've been here since the beginning. So yeah, that's my talk on it.
I wanted to pop in just for like a second, just to say I literally took the last 3 weeks off of my fursuit job just to dedicate to this con. So trust me, cons do take a lot of work, especially if you're like me in a con chair, but it is worth it. I promise you it is.
Definitely. Got another question. We got a few questions about VR chat. Did we decide if we're going to keep, I believe what we're going to do is we'll keep the VR chat world open. However, it will not be moderated. So that is just a bit of your user discretion. Obviously, the world builds we've gotten are beautiful. Same goes with our Minecraft world is actually going to be open until the 18th, I believe. So if you would like to build and add to that, that's available for you. So if you want to log into Minecraft, we were originally planning to take a snapshot of that world and add it to our pre-existing community Minecraft server. However, if we do that, that'll take a bit of time just because we need to update. We need to update our current server. It's not quite up to date with the most recent patches and everything required to integrate those two servers. Luckily, we were able to run our Shipwrecked Minecraft server on the most recent version of Minecraft. So that world is open, but if we integrate it into our community server, it'll just take a little bit more time. How the heck do y'all manage to keep getting such amazing folks to guest of honor and volunteer? Just outreach. You know, we try and spread the word as much as we can. And people like you, Cobalt, who rep on us so much, you do so much for us by just spreading the word. We're running into our time. We got about 10 minutes left. So I do want to say we might go over just a little bit, but we will continue to talk in the, which one? The Century Ballroom? In the Century Ballroom Discord voice chat. So if you guys would like to come hang out with us there, I'm sure all of the staff will be in there just yucking it up, talking about post-con stuff, enjoying our Sunday afternoon. So I do want to delve into this question from Gayrai, and this is a question that I can point at each and every one of you in this Zoom call. What was the part that was most fun for each of you during our virtual con weekend? Absol, I'll start with you.
No, of course. I'm sorry.
I don't have to. I could start with Digital Wolfie. What was your favorite part of con
I just unmuted. Never mind.
Oh God, so many. I have to say the Minecraft server, meeting all the wonderful people building everything. It was so amazing. And meeting all these new people. That's what's actually my favorite part.
What about you, Zeldar?
Same thing. Meeting the people on the Minecraft server, exploring the builds that everybody's done. We have a lot of very talented people who reserve plots. I love every single thing on there so far. The secrets people have made are all fun and silly, and they've just been a blast to be there in the Minecraft server over the weekend.
Azareth, I'm sure you have a bit to say too. These last three have Azareth and Zeldar basically lived on Minecraft this weekend, along with our other Minecraft mods. Azareth, what was your favorite part?
I just want to say that we built the entire world in 7 days, and I'm glad you guys had a blast. I've been like holding that in the whole time.
It's true.
Brett laughing. I was panicking, y'all, but I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I did live in Minecraft. I actually have over 6 days logged just in the Shipwrecked iteration. So I decorated pretty much the entire hotel. If you that's what I'm like going crazy. I'm sorry. But anyway, MeltCon 2021.
MilkCon 2021. And I did get word that we will migrate the hotel over to our survival community run server. So yeah, no griefing. Kanachi, what was your favorite part of this weekend? I just want to say Kanachi has been such a lifesaver. Big shout out to them. Kanachi helped with our VR chat world, helped with our websites, helped what else? They did a ton of stuff, too much to keep up with. Kanachi, I can't even express it to you. I was going to PM you about it, but seriously, thank you so much. You've been the hero of the weekend among everybody else who's awesome.
Oh gosh. Thank you.
sorry to make you blush.
No, it's fine. I mean, honestly, I think the best part was just seeing it all come together in the end. Getting the badges made up, which thank you to you, Jax, for making those images for the badges. But yeah, it was crazy just getting everything ready for launch, getting the instances set up, because those of you in chat that play VR chat know that it's a great social platform, but it has many of flaws that have yet to be worked out in the game. So working around those was a bit of a struggle at times, but yeah, it was just awesome seeing it come together. And again, huge shout outs to Ren Tradewin and Las, who worked on the world with both the modeling and the Udon programming part of it. They did an amazing job, especially in the week going up to the con. So huge shout outs to them as well for helping it all come together.
For sure. Captain Cass, I think I know what your answer is going to be. Is it dance comp? Is that your favorite part?
So I want to say yes, but honestly, I can't really pick a favorite. I'm just blown away. No pun intended. Of everything that's just been going on here, just being able to run all of this, working with all the attendees, you know what? I think my favorite thing is going to have to be making the Discord server over the dance competition. The Discord server is my pride and joy. I poured my heart into all that. Doing all the permissions was the worst, and I was so happy when everything was working as intended. And it was the one thing that I was no, I'm doing this. This is my task. And I went all out on it, making sure that we had every channel we possibly could, that it was very inclusive, that we had different areas to hang out in. And I saw it utilized throughout the weekend too. My biggest fear was that it was just going to be an empty server. All these people were here and no one was going to talk in them. But no, it's been active, so active. And just seeing people in Minecraft, people in VR chat, I was excited just to see people chatting in Discord. So thank you. That's my pride and joy. That and spending 5 hours setting up the dance comp. But it was worth it.
Ricky, how about you?
Honestly, probably a tie between music. The concerts last night were amazing, and Minecraft, because I was basically right with Zal and Azareth living in there.
For sure. Faulty, what was your favorite part of the weekend? Shout out to Faulty as part of our regular operations. They are our art director, assistant director of art.
Honestly, I mean, maybe it's like a little vain of me, but my favorite part was being able to see, like, on Twitter, everyone posting their packages from pre-reg, and being able to see not only my art on the towel and my art on the sticker sheet, but like, I really hope that all of our artists are really proud of themselves, being able to see everyone enjoying their work. And even leading up to con 2, like, all of their work being shown for advertisements, just all over the place. Like, artists don't really, I feel like we can never give them enough credit for what they do for us. Like, a lot of our artists have full-time jobs, part-time jobs. Some of that is their own commission work, and they take time out of their lives to give us work for our community and our con. They're a huge face of our con and how we, like, show ourselves to the world, and I'm just so proud of them.
Real quick, Loss, what was your favorite part? We're running up just a few minutes left.
Oh, it's hard to say, but I've had a blast working on both this world and everything else. And I know I can say for both me and Ren, it's been a surreal experience seeing people in it just everywhere.
You guys were great. Thank you. Alex, how about you?
I would have to say the concerts. I have loved the music. All the art, all the musical artists are fantastic. It has actually wanted me to look deeper into the pony fandom on the side of music. So last night was just fire. I'm super excited for tonight as well. But yeah, that's been my favorite of the virtual part so far.
Blue, what do you have to say, huh?
Definitely my favorite part has been being able to perform and having the concerts and stuff, and just being able to be part of the AV team. So it's been really enjoyable.
For sure. Odyssean?
I'm a big fan of my panel that I did about game mastering, but I think the absolute favorite moment is, so we went live Thursday at midnight with all the vendors opening up. To see everyone come into the server and just start interacting was like mind blowing. It's also my favorite part of like the physical con is like Friday morning when people start showing up. It's like, this is it. This is now. It's happening. That's my favorite moment.
Personally, my favorite part was seeing the boarding passes printed, which if you got one, huge shout out to you because they looked amazing and all of your persona art was amazing. And right before we wrap this up, our next panel is going to be the history of gaming so far here on Twitch with Cheeto Dust. But before we go, Brett, what was your favorite part of the virtual convention?
Oh.
Are you going to talk now?
If I can unmute like the 15 mute buttons that I have. Honestly, for me, my favorite part of the convention is the part where I see the people post that this was their first convention or that their last physical con may have been Annex 2020 and that they're here again. Anytime I see that, anytime anyone can experience our convention as their first convention, it gives me chills and it makes me so thankful that we can be here because I know that the team that works for us and I know that the groups that put these together are the right people to be bringing this event to those who are incoming into the fandom or just need a place to exist. So I'm very thankful, and those are always my favorite parts.
Awesome. You guys are just amazing. You guys are so sweet. We do this for the community. This is your convention. So our next panel is going to be a history of gaming so far with Cheeto Dust. Be sure to stick around for that. They're really excited to host it. We, the staff, are going to jump over into the Discord server. We're going to be in voice chat in the Century Ballroom. So if you got any more questions, you want to pick our brains or maybe just hang out, we'll be in there. So thank you again so much for coming to our feedback panel, for being a part of our convention. It really means the whole world to us. I hope you're ready to be rescued tonight. Woo! Go back to regular life. All right, we are signing off here. We will see you next time.